Yeah. I'm so glad you're on the show. And I've never talked about this before, what I'm about to tell both of you. When my father he was only 40 years old, and he worked at a paper mill, and he was working with the chemicals in Johnsonburg, Pennsylvania. And, he was just, young guy. And he ended up, couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. Oh. And they ended up taking him up to Sayre. At that time, this was years before Cleveland really got on the map to what it is now. And they had a paper that they put in front of you, and they wanted him to draw a circle. And he couldn't draw. And the harder he tried, the worse he got.
Yes.
And then his writing kept going smaller and smaller and smaller. Oh. And he would cry, and he was always really Mr. And it was really scary to watch this. And I kept telling her, I said, you can't do this. I said, my God, if Dad ever got in the driver's seat, he could take off and he could literally kill somebody. Oh, no, he'll be fine. So lo and behold, a couple months later, I look out, there he is. He's getting out of the truck. He's got his hands all the way around, and he's getting in the driver's side. And I went screaming, out, and I said, Dad, you can't. He looked at me. He had no idea who the hell I was. He says, get the hell out of here. Oh. And he didn't know who I was. She comes out and she's trying to talk to him. Oh. And finally she, whatever happened, part of him came back. 3 hours later, she called up and she says, Susie, your dad wants to talk to you. And, and he started to cry on the phone. And he kept telling me, he said, I have no idea what I did. And he just felt so terrible about it.